Very good morning to you, Angus McKenzie. What's going on here?
Good morning, Jane, and morning to all the viewers. I think what's important to note is that over a very short space of time, we've seen this huge growth in e-hailing services, as well as the scooters that commute food to people between A and B. And what unfortunately has happened is, while there's been this exceptional growth in the services, as a city we've not sort of put measures in place to deal with the services. And I think what Councillor Dave Bryant has done very, very well is that he's listened to his constituents that have literally been complaining about the fact that parking is becoming a problem in the city centre, double parking of these e-hailing services, where we have these scooters that are transporting food to and from places, basically being repaired on sidewalks. And these are all contraventions of bylaws. But I think what we need to appreciate is the fact that these services offer residents a huge, it's a good service that they are offering residents. And so what we need to try and find is to find the international best practice as to how we bring these e-hailing services to work together with municipalities and its residents, so that we don't have this congestion and clog up of our roads and bikes being fixed on sidewalks where people should be walking, in effect.
Okay, Angus, how are you going to resolve it?
So I think what's important is to start the process of engagement, and what Dave Bryant has in fact done is that he's had these complaints to his ward office as the ward councillor. He's brought that to the Portfolio Committee. The Portfolio Committee agreed to his motion that we need to investigate and engage with these individuals as to how we do it. So we can look at some examples of what has been happening in the city. If you look at what we did with some of our taxis, our minibus taxis in the city, we had a space that they were using that was clogging up and creating congestion, and as a city we've been able to find an additional open space for taxis to drive. So there are options there. We need to look at what the airport has done, and I think the airport has been extremely progressive in how they've handled the situation. You no longer have these e-hailing services clogging up bays, but there's a specific dedicated area for pick-up and drop-off of people, so that we're able to use the services. So these are the sort of things that our officials within the portfolio are going to have to start looking at. We'll be doing a range of site visits across the city where we have the biggest issues around these things, and we're going to start looking at solutions as to how we ensure that not only do we continue this good service that e-hailing services are doing for residents, but that we are able to regulate it in such a manner that there's a good working relationship between all involved, and economically all involved are able to get advantage out of it.
I was going to ask you about that. I mean, how do you maintain a good relationship with these e-hailing services, and what are they telling you about what they want, how they think it could work?
Look, since the passing of the motion, which took place a few days ago, we've received a lot of communication from the e-hailing services where they want to engage in the matter, and I think they realize it. Because what in effect happens, Jane, is that a lot of the drivers that are working for these e-hailing services, the e-hailing services have really no management over their drivers. So what in effect is currently taking place is that our enforcement services are enforcing the law to the best of their ability. So a lot of these guys are getting tickets. They are being we're dealing with bylaw infringements on a daily basis with these individuals. But we need to understand that while they are offering a good service, they need to make sure that they are doing it within the confinement of the bylaw and the law. So it's going to take engagement, and it's a good opportunity to be able to speak to these individuals, speak to these companies, and find the best possible solution. And I think that is the way how we get things done. It's going to be pointless for the city and anyone else to just create some sort of rule and expect implementation of that rule. The best way to get everyone working together well is to bring everyone around the table and start this process of discussions, because the one thing you want to avoid is what happens in other cities in this country, where e-hailing services can't even pick people up in specific places and drop them off at specific places, because it starts creating issues with other taxi operators in the areas. And so I think this is a good step from the city side to start this process of engagement, so that we ensure that we are helping and assisting and enabling these sorts of services in the city. We are ensuring that what is happening within the city, that residents and businesses are still able to function as per normal, but that we're actually trying to find solutions for the way forward.
Angus McKenzie, thank you very much.